The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
You are listening to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with a sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Listen in as Brent and Dave invite you to belly up to the bar with them to talk about everything in the world of sports, just like you would do at your favorite watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans. So belly up to the bar with us, grab a beverage, and let's get into it.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports talk and a whole lot more. Show number 406, I think it is, on this 17th day of June, 2024. Tonight's show, as always, brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420POD at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all their great articles and other podcasts, and such as the newest incarnation of the Crap Brew Sports guys on Monday night. Scott has a new show over there, Backwards K Baseball, where they talk baseball, just strictly baseball in the craft brew sports kind of way. And they got a new beer that came out there in the Ohio area. So congratulations to the guys over there at Craft Brew Sports, Dad Brews, I think it's called. Well, and don't we get to get any up here in Canada. We'll find a way to get Mike and Scott to send me some up to Canada here. Thank you very much to everybody who listens to the show on a daily basis and checks all our stuff. And thank you very much to Garrett for a great show that I thought we had talking about the Savannah Bananas baseball on Thursday night. I think it got up on Saturday. People listened to it a lot. It was a very good show we had there on Thursday night with Garrett from Two Dudes with Sports News. Dave, how are you?
Doing well. It's a Monday. It was a busy weekend for this dad. Shit to do. Kid playing baseball. Had to do a little bit of work. Got some sports watching in here and there, but just where I could. But you know, the baseball dad's life is packed on the weekend. Thank God we were in Lethbridge, Alberta, so I at least got a mowable lawn in the hurricane. That you're just talking about the episode we recorded with Garrett on Thursday, and I sat outside in my shorts and put on a hoodie halfway through. It was a beautiful night. That was the last beautiful night we've had. It's been off-putting.
Adverse at best.
Adverse at best. Yes, you're right. We've seen it all. We had some sunny skies. We had hurricane winds. We had torrential rain, and it can't decide what it's doing now. But like the weather, it got cloudy, but you know, it was a great weekend watching the kid play baseball. I stayed dry. Kids didn't. And it was good.
I was forced in, not forced it. I umpired some baseball, speaking of American Legion tournament here in Lethbridge. And man, oh man, Sunday afternoon, I was a miserable 49-year-old umpire. I was like, call this game. Like before the day started, yesterday morning at about 9 o'clock, I was at Spitz there, and one of the coaches from Leopards, like, I could see him urging the other coaches to call it, like, because the field was wet and shitty, but there were parents who traveled and everything else, so they wanted to keep it going and get their money's worth, I guess, and everything else. But it was absolutely miserable. Like it was the field was playable but unplayable, and it wasn't great. But you do it, and I was out there, and there was a few times there was a catcher from the Edmonton team. He goes, "This isn't fun." I said, "Do you want me to call the game?" He goes, can you do that? I said, "I can, but I can't." Like I can call it, but I'm gonna have parents wringing my neck because they pay for hotels and on and on.
I'm gonna have some splaining to do. Yeah.
So I was like, well, let's just get through another 45 minutes, and at one point in the Elks, the last game of the day yesterday, it was 12-3, and there's a 10-run rule after 5 or whatever it is. And I'm not saying that my strike zone got a little bit different, but my strike zone got a little bit different to get that 13th run across.
Well, there was rain, right?
It was raining and things and stuff. So it wasn't. I wasn't cheating. I wasn't. But I was like, one team's not winning, and one team is winning. And I could sense in a lot of the players' eyes, not all the players' eyes, that they wanted to get out of there. But there's the kids that compete, and there's parents that are there. So I called her by the letter of the law to an extent, and that's what it was. But yeah, it was. She was adverse yesterday, my friend. Adverse.
What time did that game start for you guys?
3:00.
Oh, and so Jasper started at 2:30, the finals for his tournament. And yeah, for a bit there, it was raining pretty hard.
Yeah.
And just, the effort of the coaches and to keep the balls dry. Right.
That was the thing that I laughed about, because baseballs cost $15 a piece, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is costing you guys a lot of money right now. So I would bet you easily we went through at least 40 baseballs yesterday in that game.
Well,
I kept calling to the bench. I said, go get more.
And you kept using new ones? Why don't you just use the BP balls? Who cares at this point?
Dave, in my statute of the game of baseball, get new. Get new. Newer balls.
How many did you Mississippi mud rub before the game? You must have been rubbing balls, or
what? 18.
Okay, so
I actually quite enjoy my pregame ritual. I get my undergarments on, and I sit there and I like rubbing baseballs. I do. Get the mud out. I like it.
I have no doubt.
Umpire, it's one of the things. Put some tunes on. I quite like. I like it. It's a. Well, I'm old, right? So it's one of those things. It's a little baseball tradition for me. It's great. But yeah, no.
Your pregame routine must be longer than some games.
Not this weekend. My pregame routine was for most games this weekend. Jesus Christ. No, it was fun being out there, but it was adverse, like fucking weather, and that's the thing about Southern Alberta. Hey, like it can be great, and then we get into July, we don't have this. Like it's fine, but June, and we want old man weather talk always. We try to stay away from it, no matter what we do. We get to that. June sucks. Like we wanted to be so good, and it just sucks.
You never know what you're getting. You just never know what you're getting. Yeah, because there was beautiful games. The game on Friday night, we sat
Friday was fantastic.
Yeah, the park we're at, it has like a covered little mini game. George Yoshinaka there, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. They had the bleachers, and so all the parents sat on the bleachers right beside the dugout there because it was sunny. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Then Saturday morning they had a game, same. Saturday 6:00 game, we were all kind of huddled into the covered portion behind home plate, and there was nobody on the bleachers from either team on come Sunday afternoon. It got just shittier and shittier.
Talk about Saturday night, Dave. When I got back from the ballpark on Saturday, Deanne was here and she was doing, I don't know, smoking cigarettes or whatever it was out of her neck. And she goes, "Do you want to go to BP's to watch the Oilers game?" I said, "Yeah, you know what? I actually do. Be fun." So the Oilers are down 3-0. It might have been to the end of the National Hockey League season. The Cup was in the building, whatever the guy's name is, who's the keeper of the Cup. He was there, and on. It was going, and when it rolled into BP's, I personally, Brent, expected a half-ass crowd on a Saturday night because the Oilers were, they're not going to win the Stanley Cup. They're not. Actually, we'll get to that in half a second. Maybe they will, but they still have a chance. But when we rolled into Boston Pizza on the west side here on Saturday night, it was fucking packed. We found 2 seats right at the bar, which was fantastic, to watch the game, and it was awesome. I'm 50, so I'm not a bar people and things.
And did you get there before first puck drop then? Did you watch the entire?
We got there just before the montage started. So we sat down, the montage was on, and we got there just before puck drop about 8 minutes to 6. It was awesome. There was Oilers jerseys, people chanting "Go Oilers, go" before the game started. It was awesome. Like it was so fun, and the way the game transpired. But man, oh man, if people who don't like sports, they don't know what they're missing.
That's great and surprising. Like you mentioned, the Oilers down 3-0, last kick of the cat. Winner go home and in a bit of embarrassing fashion, and to see the hometown crowd, maybe it was because of the shitty weather, because everybody they weren't going camping. They came home from the golf course at 4. It says, so it's instead of watching it after a round, they called no joy after 9. Put on the jersey and let's go out for some pie tonight. So, good on them. And then good for Boston Pizza. I didn't realize that the sports pubs in Lethbridge were going to have such a good night there on Saturday.
No, it was fantastic, and there was this I don't want to. She's about 25, 26 years old, and she obviously had a couple throughout the day. So she wasn't tipsy when the game started. Like she was. But she was having a time though. She was at a point, and holy trucker mouth. Fuck! I was like, "Whoa, that's aggressive. That's aggressive." I was laughing, and then me being the mayor of everything, I was laughing with her, and it was quite funny. And she was having a great time and swearing and yelling and screaming and Oilers this and it was a lot of fun. And I can't imagine that if you watched. You didn't watch the game. We'll get into that in half a second too. But that crowd in Edmonton was unbelievable, because they had it on the speaker. Obviously, the sound was on at BP's there. That crowd in Edmonton was unbelievable, and I'm glad that the Oilers, if they lose tomorrow night, or on Tuesday. Sorry, that's tomorrow night. If they lose tomorrow, it's unfortunate, but at least that crowd got one win, and it was awesome. That crowd in Edmonton was. We've been to the old Coliseum back in the day, back in 98 and 99, whatever it was. And it was loud and crazy and nuts. And then in 2004, 2006, sorry, it was crazy then. But from all accounts, on Saturday night, that was the wildest crowd anyone has ever heard in the history of the National Hockey League.
Well, that's what I was mentioning to you off air. I always listen. Elliot Friedman and Merrick have that 32 Thoughts podcast after every game. Mm-hmm. And they do it that night. So after Elliot gets home from the barn, that's when they do it. And so he was, obviously you could tell in his voice, he was still a little electric and what have you. And that's what he said. That was by far and away the best home game crowd in this year's playoffs by a margin. And to have your hometown fans show up and
facing elimination,
well, fuck it, probably not going to win the cup this year, but let's go and watch the boys one more time. And they showed up in spades, and maybe they're going to pack old Cougar Twain in that Stanley Cup box, bring her around for a little good luck charm.
Yeah, she, old Shania Twain, she was fucking singing. Well, I don't think she was singing. There was probably a little bit of lip syncing going on.
Performing. She was performing. Yes.
She was prancing around in her whatever costume she had on there. But yeah, no, man. And that's what makes sports great. Like, you get out there and your team wins, because I said it before and you'll say it again. When your team actually has a chance to win the championship, to win with a Super Bowl, Stanley Cup, World Series, NBA, NCAA, whatever it might be, there's no better feeling for an actual sports fan. And so when you have 18,000 sports fans, not all 18,000 obviously are Oilers fans. They're a lot of there because they have money, can get tickets. But the city was behind it. You look at what was going on outside of the stadium. And
it was mayhem.
Mayhem. like absolute mayhem, and people were having a good time, and that's what sports is all about. And having it when your team got a chance to win it, man, oh man, there's no better feeling. There isn't.
And it kind of lined up that way, right? Because, Saturday night, hockey night in Canada, last time to see, maybe the last time to see. I couldn't imagine what it's going to be like if the Oilers find a way to win tomorrow. And then it's another Friday night. So it's not a school night. And you know that when there's no school night, the liquor sales go up a little bit when you don't have to drag your ass out of bed at 6:30 and never mind that could happen on a Monday and they're closing down. I imagine the employers of that city are like, well, fuck, if for whatever reason the Oilers manage to come back from this, I sure hope it's not on a Monday, because we're going to miss a lot of employees on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday.
If you got tickets to game, if they do get to game 6. And it's a Saturday, but Edmonton's an oil field city. If you got tickets and you got to work on Saturday morning or Sunday morning, whatever it might be, if you got tickets, you're telling your boss, and your boss will understand. He'll be like, I get it.
Yeah. But you keep your shirt sleeves off. So I know you're going to be a bag of shit, but be tired, but just don't be an absolute sack of shit. Have a good time. Yeah.
Or say, you know what?
Or take it off. Yeah.
I'm not coming. Let's not sugarcoat this. I'm going to be a piece of shit. I'm going to be a piece of shit on Saturday morning for my oil field job. Now, both of us worked oil field at one point in our lives.
Yeah, but if you're in town, you're not even close to the work site, right? You're a 6-7 hour drive possibly.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm not going to work. Like, I'm calling in drunk.
See you Monday, Teach. Yeah,
I'm out.
The son's not going to show up for work.
The thing about that game, Dave, is that the Oilers got. Let's get into the nuts and bolts for a little bit. They were behind, and then it's shitty, and then they went up. And as much as we shit on Skinner, he made a save at the score was 8-1 final, I think it was. He made a save at 2-1 that changed the course of that hockey game.
That's what I heard. That I heard that on 2 different podcasts.
Yeah, and that you'll hear it here from Brent Rodinsky first. Like, I'm not a Skinner apologist by any means, but he made a save at 2-1. Oilers were up 2-1. They could have made it 2-2, and then the crowd would have been taken out of it, and the Oilers were like, "Fuck." Like, we're fucking giving her here, because I think Florida's a superior team. I really do. But he made a save at 2-1 that kept it 2-1, and the Oilers scored to make it 3-1 about 2.5 minutes later. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Stop all the easy ones and a few of the hard ones, and give yourself a chance to win. And Skinner actually did that at that point in the hockey in the first period. And it was unbelievable.
Yeah, and I haven't watched a minute since game 2. I don't know where we were in the point when we were recording with Garrett. Like, if I listened to game 3 on the radio and didn't wear a jersey to try and change the mojo, and they lost, and I wasn't happy listening to the radio. And then on Saturday, nothing. I didn't tune in. I didn't care. I wasn't even checking my phone for updates. And it so happened that that was Joshua was playing ball. Game time was 6 o'clock on Saturday night. I won't say everybody, but a good portion of the fans were like, "You checking the score?" No, I'm not. And then all of a sudden, 8-1, like 3-1, 4-1, and the guy sitting beside me, 5-1. You got to be feeling pretty good right now, don't you? I go, Skinner ain't done letting goals in yet. Don't you worry. So maybe the absolute Grinch who stole Christmas attitude might be the kind of attitude. I'm not going to watch. I'm going to try the same approach come game 6, because why am I wasting my time and my minimal emotional support where I could just say fuck those fuckers and they do well. So I want them to do well, but I'll just give them the fuck those fuckers and see what happens tomorrow night.
As we were driving over to Boston Pizza there on Saturday night, Dave, Deanne, she made a good point. I mean, she watches sports. She's a more fanatic about certain things than I am. But she says somebody on this team in the pregame has to say, and I think it's McDavid. Like he set a new record for assists in a playoff run with 32, beat a Gretzky record. So anytime you beat a Gretzky record, that's unbelievable. But Deanne said somebody in our locker room, whether it was McDavid or Draisaitl or maybe Nugent Hopkins, had to say, we are not losing this game tonight. We're not losing. Like one way or another, we're winning this fucking game. We're not letting the opposition team hoist the Stanley Cup on in our barn. And
after a sweep, yeah,
and get swept. Like if we lose in 5, whatever. But we are not losing this fucking game tonight. Jump on my back and let's do this. And I think one of those guys and like Nugent Hopkins has been around for forever. With the Oilers, I think he's 14 years or 12 years, whatever it's been. He's been around forever. And he might have been that, he's not a vocal guy, but he might have been that kind of a guy, like, we're not losing tonight. We're not doing this. We're not. Or maybe McDavid, who got a goal and 3 assists. We're not losing tonight. If we lose in Florida on Tuesday, that's fine. But we're not losing tonight. And I think that was a huge. I think that was a very good point by Deanne. I think, but I think that's what was like. We have our fans. We got to give our fans one win on home ice in the Stanley Cup Finals, because it might not. It's been 18 years, right? So no, it was awesome. It was.
I hear what you're saying, but isn't it like it kind of turns out like that? Bobrovsky was actually mortal for a night. Like if he played like he played in game 1 and 2, would the Oilers wouldn't have been winning 8-1? No. Or were all these times? Was there any soft ones he let in? What did he let in 5 goals on 16 shots?
He wasn't. The thing about him, he wasn't. Nothing was his fault. There was maybe 1, maybe 2 that was like, yeah, maybe Redlinski stops that as well. But there was nothing that was Bobrovsky's fault.
It was just
the Oilers were flying. They came out flying, and it was.
But you know, this is kind of good that I didn't watch any of that game. But the Oilers came out flying, and I thought we're the better team in game 1. But they got goalies
in game 3. Game 1 and game 3 they got goalies a little bit.
Yeah. And so now, you know, I can understand Florida. I'm not going to say didn't show up, but like we're up 3-0. They didn't match the intensity. And then all of a sudden, holy fucking shit, we're getting boat raced here. And there's really nothing we can do about it.
Nothing.
And then also from what I heard, that it didn't turn into this stupid chippiness and stuff. There was a little bit of extracurricular activities, but nothing like, hey, who do you think you are trying to show us up? We're gonna fuck you guys up. Come game 5 in Florida. If you're Florida now, we lose game 4, big deal, but now we're down 1. But to get your hat handed to you like that, there has to be some question marks. Does that refocus a team? Like, is it better to lose 4-3 in overtime in to prevent the sweep, or is it better to get boat raced and avoid a sweep? And
I tell you what, the old house money thing right now. If the Oilers can come out tomorrow night, and I think the Oilers got to think about playing a 1-0, 2-1 game. They're not going to win 8-1 again. They're just not. I mean, it could be wrong, but the Oilers, if they can win tomorrow night, there's way more pressure on the Florida Panthers. Because now
you bet.
Because now you're going into Edmonton on Friday night, where the fucking drinks are flowing and the fucking Carhartts are wearing and everything. Blah blah blah. It'll be a fucking like if they think that what was happening on Saturday is even with the crowd and the momentum. If they think last Saturday was something, wait till they get to Friday. If it gets to Friday, that crowd is going to be the difference maker. Because I can't tell you who's going to win Game 6, but I'll tell you who would win Game 7. Because the thing I'm thinking about this, McDavid is a legacy guy. He's a legacy guy. And if he can come out, if it came down to a Game 7, who are you putting money on? Bobrovsky, Tkachuk, or McDavid?
Yeah, it's tough to argue with the ability and, a motivated McDavid. Like, he's like anyone that's ever watched, whether you've seen 1,000.
He needs one, right?
Yeah, he needs one. And just the simple fact that, he broke a record, and there's talk is he's a severe underdog, obviously, to win the Conn Smythe as the most valuable player of the Stanley Cup playoffs. But his name's being mentioned with Barkov and with Bobrovsky, and his team is down 3-1 because of the contributions and the difference that he makes.
Anytime you beat a
Gretzky record.
That has a Gretzky record, you did something pretty good.
You did something really good. And considering Gretzky hasn't laced him up in 25 years, right? So that record's been sitting there for a bit, too. It's going to be interesting to find out what happens after tomorrow night. It's a shame I can't watch it.
Why?
I don't want to, because when I don't watch, they win. Why would I do that to myself? If I watch and they lose, it's my fault now. And how do you think? I get it. They're the axe, but I don't want to be the person that fucking wrecks their mojo. Jasper has practice tomorrow night at that time. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just go sit and watch baseball, because that's what I did on Saturday when the Oilers won.
If the Oilers don't win tomorrow night, is the season a failure? Different question. If you lose in 5, failure. If you lose in 6, failure. If you lose in 7, fuck, we were close.
I think it's fuck, we were close no matter what happens going on, right? Because we say it all the time, winning is hard. And, even when we were talking about the Oilers in Series 1 and 2, how the Oilers' inability to close out LA and their inability to close out the Canucks with shit goaltender play and just letting their foot off the gas. I didn't see them getting by Dallas, because they, in all honesty, they did have the easier path. Dallas had to go through Vegas, and then they had to go through Colorado. And I thought Dallas was going to be the team to end the Oilers' dreams this year, but the Oilers found a way. And that gave me some pause to think that this could, I think, ill-constructed team, maybe their superstars are good enough. And with BC goaltenders, they can pull this through. And then so I think this season for the Edmonton Oilers has to be looked at as a success, regardless of what happens going forward here. A sweep would have been, yeah, we did good, but that would have left a really bad taste. It's like having a 4-star meal and then finding a speck of fly shit in your dessert, right? It's like, yeah, it's just, that kind of sucked. I wish it would have ended on a better note, but everything else was really, really, really good.
I didn't know that flies actually shit.
Well, everything. If you're everything shits. Every living organism has waste material.
Plants don't shit.
But they have waste material. They give off. You know what their waste material is? Oxygen. They absorb. They use carbon dioxide, and release oxygen into the air.
No, oxygen. Our show for fucking scientific facts.
Well, just the broad strokes. I'm not going to break down photosynthesis here either. So,
if you were a betting man and had $100 to just throw away, which I'm sure you do, but you're not a betting guy. Can they?
You know what? The odds are like you're going to get.
I think they can. I think they can.
It's not impossible. I'm on this thread with some Oiler fans, buddies of mine, and I forwarded it on to them. I saw it on the Twitter machine on Sunday. The last time the Oilers lost 3, they went on a 5-game heater. Every time they've lost 3 in a row,
they won a 16-game heater after.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. Like so, like they've gone on heaters, like a 5-game heater, a 7-game heater, and a 16-game heater after losing 3 in a row. So I am saying there's a chance. There's Mary Swanson sitting there waiting to hug Lloyd Christmas.
The problem you got, though, it's hard to beat anyone.
Yes. The team 3 games in a row.
3 games in a row, let alone 4.
Well, yeah, let alone 4, because, I don't think I think Florida was the better team, but did they deserve to be up in that series 3-0? I think 2-1 would have been more realistic. But they closed it. They played tough. Who's to say? And then if the Oilers do win Game 5, like you say, that's a long flight to think about how we shouldn't be taking this long flight anymore. And then to go to this hotel and have these fucking Northern Alberta hooligans lighting off fireworks and playing rock music outside your hotel all night. Don't think they're not going to do that. It's going to be an environment.
It's great.
It's going to be an environment.
I mean, my life will go on no matter what, right? But I want one more game at Edmonton just to watch that crowd again. Like it was, David. It was awesome. Like it was awesome. Like it was. There was pangs of jealousy in my veins to not be at that game on Saturday night. Because Saturday night, Edmonton, we've done it before. It's just, yeah, man. Because it's a blue collar town, and it was awesome. Like it was and even how it filtered down into Southern Alberta here with the people at Boston Pizza. Like I said, it was a great crowd. Like when the Oilers scored, there was high fives and people and stuff and drinks and shots and blah. Like I don't partake in shots because I'm 50, but man, people were having a time. They were having a time.
And to make it last like through an 8-1 game, like there was no people felt this game's over, I'm going home.
No,
there were, and that's the thing. Being down 3-0 in the series. You're going to enjoy every goal because, I've been waiting a whole series to celebrate this team and to have fun with this team.
No one's getting their tab at 7:30.
Nope. This game's done. Fuck that.
They were having a good time and everything else. No, it was fantastic. Let's a little bit here. If they don't pull it off, is it? Now what?
Well, it has to be now what? Like, is your team... This team's in win now mode, right? And so now you got to take a hard look at different things and see where you can make a difference. Darnell Nurse and Cece, right? Like that's a brutal defensive pairing. And maybe Darnell Nurse, if you're going to point fingers, is one of the guys, and he's one of the highest paid guys. And there's a lot of term left on his contract here, so you're fucking stuck with him. This Cece, what do you do with him? It's if the Oilers do lose this series, it's because they're not strong enough on the back end, and they had C+ goalie. That's it. That is simply it. And I don't know what else you could like. I don't know how those problems are getting fixed. It's not going to be Ken Holland's problem anymore because I believe he is retiring after this year. Like, what do you do? Like what do? You got Draisaitl and McDavid at least for one more year. Next year's Draisaitl's fucker walk year. You got it like unless one of their younger defensemen like that Bouchard made such huge strides this year. He was kind of average. I remember looking at him in the playoffs last year and saying like, this kid does not have it, but he has it now. That Desharnais was fucking terrible last year, and still he has glimpses of absolute terribleness as well. Like it's like those are the most glaring weaknesses I see is not being deep enough on defense.
I really, really want them to win that game tomorrow night. Like I want one more game in Edmonton on a Friday night.
Yeah,
Friday night lights in Edmonton Rexall, and on it goes, and the Jasper Ave and White Ave, and on it goes, man. Like that. I mean, Oilers fans were very spoiled back in the 80s. Like when they first came into the league back in 1979, I think it was. And then in 83, they won a cup, and then on it goes. And then it's been some lean years. Let's not sugarcoat it. It's been some lean years in Edmonton. But in 2006, when they went to the finals against Carolina, they lost in Game 7. And I don't expect them to win the Stanley Cup, but I would love one more home game in Edmonton for the Oilers fans, because man, on a Friday night, wow,
we're gonna hear it from here. It's passionate, you know.
And the way that people are behind it, right? Like down here, people are into it, man.
Yeah, and then to put it into like NFL standards, this is kind of like Bills fan. They're Buffalo Bills fans up in Edmonton. There's a lot of grit grinders. Like they're selling out the barn, but obviously there's a lot of money in that city as well. And the grit grinders can't get into the barn, but they're coming to the mosh pit. They're having backyard parties. They are getting down, ready to cheer on their team. And I'm not talking getting blotto drunk and slamming through tables. They got their pops lined up, and the more is going to get drunk after the game if they win, as opposed during the game getting all blotto drunk to show how good of fans they are. They want to watch this game. They want to remember this game, and they are going to cheer their balls off.
And that's the thing, is that you're watching the game, and you're intense about it, and when it ends, it's going to be sad.
Yeah,
because I do not expect them to win. Like I hope I'm wrong. I do not expect them to win the Stanley Cup. Winning 4 in a row is tough. They put themselves in position. They got goalie twice, but if they can come back and do this would. I can't imagine the city of Edmonton for X amount of days being coherent.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's going to shut down the city. Like for everyone from the fucking mayor to the person cleaning toilets in McDonald's. There's going to be a trickle-down effect. There's going to be a lot of people that are just... Even, honestly, even if they're not hungover, they're just going to be so emotionally spent. And then there'll be a lot of people dragging their ass doing whatever it is they got to do the next day. But they're going to be tired and everything. But everybody's going to be doing it with a smile on their face. It's like it'd be hard. Like it's like everybody got the best, the most unexpected best present they wanted on Christmas morning. And then so everybody's just going to be walking on cloud 9 for a little bit, and like in an emotional high, like that just makes the city feel good. It's going to be like just for that city, like when Canada won that Salt Lake City Olympics, and that was in 2002.
My favorite moment, 2002.
I agree with that.
My favorite moment of all time.
Yeah, it just felt so good, and that was a Sunday afternoon, and obviously we had pops, and I was watching at Luke Davis's house on Heritage there when he lived there. It was great, like, and so whatever the game was over at we were all home at like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. We weren't drinking all night or anything like that, but like we were high-fiving and partying, but yeah, not booze partying. Like it's more joy partying and hugging and that kind of thing. It's like New Year's Eve, but just
that's my favorite.
Real.
My favorite hockey moment, 2002. Like
yeah,
that's the one that stands out to me. Yeah, that one was huge. Prediction time, Dave. What's going to happen tomorrow night?
The Oilers are going to suck shit. Like I'm going to
suck shit. Oilers suck shit.
And then I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to really? Listen on the radio. It works. Like I'm superstitious when it comes to that. Like, so if this is what works, this is what works. This got us a win. So this got them a win. It didn't get us a win. It got them a win.
Me, Brent, I'm hoping for a lot of rain tomorrow because it's supposed to rain here tomorrow in Lethbridge. I'm hoping for a rain out because there ain't no one going to a Lethbridge Bulls game on a Tuesday night to watch the Bulls. And so it'd be good, both really good teams. But people are staying home to watch the Oilers game tomorrow night. They ain't come to a Bulls game tomorrow night to watch that.
No, given the option.
Yeah, I hope they win. I really hope they win. Like that atmosphere was so great. I want one more for Oilers fans.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool. It wouldn't be kind of cool. It would be super cool to see that thing coming back to Edmonton for a game, and it would be great. Maybe I will watch the game. I don't know. I do not know. It's I'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow comes 6:30 Mountain Standard Time.
They have two of the best players in the world playing for their team.
Yep, they do, and they have a good coach. They're not getting out coached this year. Last year, I believe they got out coached. They're getting out goalied, but
I'm glad you brought that up. Paul Maurice has been around for a long time. I think he won one with Carolina. No, he didn't. No, that was Laviolette.
That was Laviolette, yes. Maurice was on... He does have a cup, though, doesn't he? I'll look it up while you talk. Like, you say...
We forget about these other guys that are hockey guys, right? Like Maurice I don't think he's ever won one, and he's been around forever. Like we forget that just because they're in Florida doesn't make them any. The fan base is less deserving, but the players aren't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
like captain to captain. I'd rather see McDavid win one before Barkov. I'd rather see Draisaitl win one before fucking Tkachuk.
Yeah.
Or so is that because where we live?
No, I think it's because we're hockey fans a little bit, and also because of where we live. Like it's just, I'm not gonna say pissy. It's just. It doesn't sit well with me to have the Stanley Cup living in Florida for like 3 years in a row. It's a bit of a drag, and I get it that the teams deserved it and they won it and they did everything you have to do to win it, but it doesn't belong in Florida. It belongs in a hockey market. Like even Carolina when they won it, I didn't dig on that. LA, I didn't really dig on that. Colorado, I'm fine with it going to Denver. I'm fine with it going. I'm not fine. I don't like Boston, but I'm fine with it going to an original 16. These Sunbelt teams, I'm not necessarily fine with that because the fan base may or may not appreciate it. But like, how long have they been fans? 15 years, 20 years max, and maybe that's old man, get off my lawn. But, there's where's the true appreciation of a team that's been in the league for 25 years.
Yeah.
to win a cup, whereas you have losing streaks of a red like Cleveland, like Boston, like the Chicago Cubs, who've gone forever, like 1967 for a Leaf fan, who's when you have more fans that haven't witnessed any Stanley Cup success in their lifetime to now, like, we didn't even, like, I was 10 when this team came to Florida, and now I'm 33.
Yeah.
And we've been in 2 cups, and we've been in 3 cup finals. We've won 1. You know, where's the pain of being a fan? You know, you almost want someone to have the pain of being a fan,
yeah,
to appreciate what it feels like to be a champion. Yeah.
You don't get it. Yeah.
You don't get it. You know, and even Boston, right, with like the Bruins, we had to wait forever before they got theirs with Tim Thomas and Chara there. The Red Sox had to wait forever.
Yeah.
And even the Pats, when Brady came, that was their first one ever. So, you know, at least they got to experience some pain, even though they're kind of making a mockery of that. Like, if there is a title town in the last 20 years, it clearly is Boston, Massachusetts.
Oilers for tomorrow night.
They gotta suck shit. So sure. Why not? Why the fuck not? Everybody wants it. If the Oilers win tomorrow night, the fix is in, because Gary Bettman doesn't want. Sweeps aren't good for business.
You are officially old. You're officially old, because my dad used to do that. Fix is in.
So did my granddad. It's fixed. It's all fixed.
Yeah, they're doing this for ratings and money, and the fix is in. Yeah.
Sweeps are bad for ratings, especially if you can get a Friday night. Yeah, if you can get a Friday night and at least milk 80% of the Canadian viewing audience for a Friday night, because it will pull big numbers on. It'll be the single most watched TV program on Friday night by a margin.
Friday night, I crashed your party. Saturday, I said I'm sorry. It's one of those things Billy Joel says. So, I'm excited. I hope the Oilers win tomorrow night. But anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. This segment was brought to you by SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420POD at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Go Oilers, go.
Go Oilers.
Suck shit.
Suck shit tomorrow, boys.
Don't get the 14-20 kiss of death.
Yeah. I'm not going to predict anything, but go Oilers!
Are you thinking of going to a game or a concert in the coming days ahead, or do you already have tickets and want to upgrade where you're sitting? It's simple. Go to SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app. They have tickets for all sports going on right now, as well as concert tickets to shows throughout North America. And to make things even better, use promo code 1420POD. That's 1420POD and receive $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that's promo code 1420POD at SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. This segment is brought to you by Righteous Felon Jerky. Go to righteousfelon.com for all of the great jerky that they have, the best in the land. Garrett from Georgia. He's in Georgia, right?
He's in Savannah. Yeah, he's a Florida boy now living in Savannah.
In Georgia, he quite likes his Righteous Felon Jerky. Anyways, Dave, the U.S. Open happened over the weekend, and the poster boy for the PGA Tour, who is Rory McIlroy, he lost, missed a couple of putts here and there, and Bryson DeChambeau won. On and on it goes. But to me, I thought it was a really bad look for the poster boy to not stick around for some post-game comments or post-round comments. And he literally grabbed his net and went home and didn't say anything to the media, and on it goes. I thought it was a bad look on McIlroy to just to say, stamp his feet and see you later, get in his truck and go home.
I can see that. And once again, I was at the baseball park. I watched most of the round on Saturday, and it was good. And that Bryson DeChambeau, he made some shots. He made some shots, and he had that 3-stroke lead. And on Sunday, I was keeping up. I wasn't watching, but I was keeping up on the sports ticker. And when I saw that Rory had a 2-stroke lead, and they weren't even in the same group. I was excited for Rory. I prefer Rory to Bryson. And then I saw he lost, and then I didn't even see. And then we had Father's Day shit. So even it wasn't until like 9, 10 o'clock at night before I even started reading about Rory packing up to beat traffic. You know, and I don't have a problem with someone that wants to beat traffic. He's getting old, right? Before they pull the goalie, but like if the home team's pulling the goalie, you might as well get in the car and beat traffic. And that's what Rory did. He wanted to beat the traffic. I get it. Looks bad.
You're talking yourself out of this. I will shut up. I'll let you talk yourself out of this.
He was in the group before Bryson, so he had to wait fucking 30 minutes before he even knew he lost the tournament. And then he had to think about his missed putt on 16. He had to think about his missed putt on 18. And just like, this is going to cost me. This is going to cost me. And then DeChambeau ends up in the sand on 18. Made a remarkable shot to have a putt to win the U.S. Open. So he had to watch all that shit. And then like, fuck it, I'm out of here. I get it. We want players to show.
You can't have it both ways. And he's been he's been to this entire live thing crossover. He's had it both ways to his benefit. Like, listen here, you little prick. You can't be both ways. If you're so pro PGA Tour, which I am, I think Liv's kind of I don't know enough about it, but. If you're the voice of the PGA, the face of PGA Tour, which he is now, and you jack off and jerk off and leave because things didn't go your way, who the fuck are you?
I'm sure you did.
You're not promoting the brand at all by not sticking around. Every other if the Oilers lose on Tuesday night, Connor McDavid's going to be interviewed. Guaranteed, correct?
Yes.
So why does Rory McIlroy, who's been doing nothing but spout his mouth off about how he loves the PGA Tour, why is he getting a free pass to fuck off?
He did give his post-round interview. Like, so how long is he supposed to wait? He had, like I said, he was in the group before DeChambeau. So he gave his post-round interview. And then, like, do you want him to wait until do you want him to come out the back and shake his hand before the trophy? Or do you want to see him get the trophy and then shake his hand? Or, like, how long does he have to fucking wait? Like, Connor McDavid and Brady Tkachuk are going to finish the game at the exact same time tomorrow, no matter what team wins. You know, that's the thing with golf. Like, what's he supposed to do? What's he supposed to do? Like, when do you want him to congratulate DeChambeau at the scoring tent?
I'm not saying congratulate him. I'm not saying that at all. But stick around for like a tough question.
I'm sure he did. I don't know that for a fact because, like, once again, I was busy all afternoon yesterday.
The videos I've seen and what I seen on the Twitter machine was like he couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. The second he lost, he didn't get one post-match interview. I could be wrong, but what I've seen, he just like, I'm out. I lost. I'm taking my bag and I'm going home.
I'm going to give him a pass on this because of the way he lost. He lost on his own accord. He like I said, he missed 2, 3, 4 foot putts on 16 and 18. That was his tournament. He should have won that tournament. He makes one of those, and then they're in overtime. Then they're playing a full 18 on Monday, head to head. And I wish they would have been in the same group, and then we might be able to talk about it a little bit different because they would have been there together on the 18th green. But if it's a guy you don't like and you fucking handed it to him, I don't have a problem with that. Get out of here.
But realistically, I'm a golf fan. But realistically, I don't give a fuck.
Neither do I.
I know you missed the putt. I don't need to hear that you pushed it left. Yeah, I know. I saw it. Like, we talked this almost a year ago now, Dave, that, like, I don't need to hear an athlete's, in this context, what I was just getting mad at Rory for, but I just saw what you didn't do. I don't need to hear what your opinion was of it. Yeah, you missed. I know.
So why do you want him to stick around then? Like, what do you want? What did you want? Why do you want him to stick around? We all know what he's gonna say, right? It's the same shit all the time, no matter who.
So is it time to get rid of post-game interviews altogether?
No, I think it's mandatory that you do have to speak to the media.
No, I know it. I know it is. I know they're contractually obligated. But I watched the game. You lost. They won. Do we really need post-game interviews? Honestly,
it's like to hear from the loser. No, I don't mind hearing from the winners because they're emotional and
nothing but a good time.
And nothing but a good time. And then, like, why do we have to talk to the losers, right? You know, on March Madness when they focus when the team loses in a heartbeat in a buzzer beater. And it's a heartbreaking loss, and they're showing kids crying, and they show mom and dad and a 6-year-old on the seat beside him bawling his eyes out. I don't need to see that. Why do they do that? Like, that doesn't make me want to watch longer, right? Let's show the good time, boys, and then even if I'm a fan of the team that lost, to hear their reaction, it's all cliche talk, anyways, right? Unless there's some controversy, then I want to hear it. Like, so maybe yes, you have to ask some questions in case anyone loses their fucking mind and it goes viral. That I wouldn't mind, whether it's the team I like or don't like. But as far as like the losing team or the losing player, it's all cliches, anyways. I give it my best shot. I'll be here next week. I'm going to regroup. I'm going to talk about this.
I hit it well.
Yeah, I just missed it. Yeah, we know exactly what he was going to say anyway. So what's the big fucking deal? It just happened to be that he fucked up, and it was against someone from the Live Tour who he really doesn't like.
And I think the way he left the building was a bit off-putting.
Like, did he burn out? Like, I don't know how he left the building.
It's better to burn out and fade away.
Did he take a shit, not flush?
I don't know about that, but
did he leave a bag of burning shit in front of DeChambeau's locker? Like, I don't know. Like, how did he leave the building? Like, how do you want him to leave the building?
Like, the second that it was over, he jumped in his truck and was gone.
So when's appropriate? 5 minutes after it was done then?
Maybe give an interview.
He did give an interview after he did. He gave an interview after DeChambeau won. He knew he lost before he left.
Yeah, it's just I personally think it's time to maybe get rid of the post-game interview. Because all right, I went 0 for 4. I let in 40. I let in 43 tonight. Whatever. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, and you know what? Unless the guy's gonna just speak off the cuff, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ! I can't believe I missed those 2 fucking putts. It drives me fucking nuts. That fucking guy, I hate him.
See that?
And he fucking won because I missed putts. So like, his success, like he's not as good as me. I fucked up.
So that would grow the game by him saying that.
Do you think? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't mind hearing that.
I would.
I'd forgive a guy for saying that. But
I love a guy for saying that.
Yeah. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Speak the truth.
Yep. And you know what? And DeChambeau himself made a hell of a sand save on the 18th. Like he was in shit. And then he came out and got it to within 4 foot, sank the putt to win the tournament. That's a baller move. Like, that is nerves of steel. That's winning a tournament. That's winning a tournament. But it was winning a tournament that was put on a platter for you by mistakes by Rory. Like, you got to make 4 foot putts if you plan on winning any tournament, let alone a major. And you don't get very many looks at a major. And so, like, either I'm gonna go blue here, or like, do you want me to cuss and rip shit up? Do you want that? Do you want the YouTube clip of me throwing a fucking chair through my 80-inch? Yeah, because I'm not gonna give you that. And the way I gotta deal with that right now is I'm gonna give you my 2 minutes of cliche, and then I'm getting the fuck out of here, and then I am gonna either pour myself a drink or beat the shit out of whatever you beat the shit out of to get it out of your system. But I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with guys like leaving unless they're going to go off, because I would pay to see that.
I think you should have to, as an obligation, to say something.
He did say something. Like, to who? To DeChambeau face to face? Get fucked, right? Or give him the fake handshake and part your hair and then walk away. Do something like that.
Have you ever done that?
In jest, not to piss someone off. Never to piss someone off. But I obviously have done it in jest. It's been a long time since I've done it.
Dave, you got a would you rather or some music or something to end the night?
I don't have a would you rather. Actually, no, I do want to bring up something I did jot down earlier on. As far as I'm just going to bring it back to the Stanley Cup Finals. Do you think it would be better if they did it home games, away games like the NBA? Like, so in the NBA, the higher seed hosts the first two, and then the lower seed gets 3 in a row, and then the final 2 games are back at the higher seed. Is it 2-3-2 way? Is that better than the 2-1-1-1-1?
I think 2-1-1 is more fair. I think it's the way it should be.
Oh, is it? Okay, because I don't mind it's 2-3-2, especially.
No, because that's fucking stupid, Dave. Because if you finish behind a team in the regular season, you shouldn't have the glory, I guess, of losing one game and then having the next 3 at home. Think about this. If the Oilers had 3 in a row at home, that's a way different series.
Better for the Oilers or better for Florida?
For the Oilers.
But then the final 2, regardless of what's happening here.
No, but a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. You cannot have 3 in a row at this stage in the game.
At home.
Can't. Because teams are better in general, are better at home.
Yeah. No, and I agree, but I'm saying the NBA has done it this way for a while. And I don't mind it for travel. And then also, too, if we can speed up.
Travel in private birds, who gives a fuck about travel? What is it, a 6.5 hour flight is a bit after a game, and then that's why they're giving them extra days off. Like, this garbage of like 3 days between games, that's ludicrous. Like, I get it, they're on a private charter, then play the game after. Why aren't they playing tonight? They played on Saturday, for fuck's sake. So yesterday they flew.
They got a good night's sleep. Everybody's on the same time schedule. There's no advantage for either team to have to wait one more night. And then if they do it tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and then we got to wait again till Friday, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just saying, if this can speed it up and maybe take 3-4 days off the length of the series, I'm for that. I'm for that. This 18-day to play 7 games. That's kind of garbage.
It's stupid.
Yeah. And if this 2-3-2 would speed that up, I'm all for that. And that's it. Like, I meant to bring it up earlier, and I didn't. But you're against that, so
I am.
So I'm done. Fuck it. I'm going home. I lost the tournament. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
All right, for our music tonight, I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I'm
okay.
It's songs from our youth again, and this might be more from the backseat. I don't know what the family truckster was in the Radlinski household. We had like kind of a Ford Econoline van with the cassette player, and Big Bill. That was my father. He was the DJ, whether you liked it or not. And we listened to a little bit of country music back in the day. So I got for you tonight, Jim and Brent. We got the Oak Ridge Boys and Kenny Rogers. I know Kenny Rogers is red. Oh, do you know what else? No, not these two. Not these two songs. What's the 2 songs?
The Coward of the County and...
Oh, it is Coward of the County. Maybe we did that one. I forgot it. And Elvira were the 2 I wanted to play. Okay, well then I don't have music. I wish I would have looked at my things. Do you know what happened on this day 20-some years ago? I don't know. It was the Slow Bronco Chase was on this day. Did you know that?
Is it really on this day?
Yeah, I saved it. I'm looking it up. I'm sorry. I can't believe I had Elvira, like the Coward of the County and Elvira already. I got to start reading my notes.
The OJ Chase.
The OJ Chase was on this day in, I want to say, 1996.
4.
Was it 4?
Yeah. The year the Rangers won the Stanley Cup.
And the New York Knicks lost to the Houston Rockets, and no one was watching Game 5 because everybody was watching the fucking. You're right. On this day in 1994, the slow speed Bronco Chase. That blows me away. That was crazy. That long ago.
You're getting old.
We are old, man. What kind of music do you want to talk about then? I'm sorry about that.
Oh, we're done. We're good.
Okay, Jim, bring us out with some Jimmy Valentine then. Haven't listened to that guy in a while.
Yeah. Huh.
And I'll be a little bit more
no, I'm
vigilant. Okay. So we're going out with a whimper. We're going right Rory McIlroy on the end of tonight.
It happens. It happens sometimes.
Sorry, Bryce. Now get your trophy and fuck off. Go back to your shorts and three-round tournaments.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
That is it.
No,
Go Holland. Euros is going on. Holland, I didn't get up early to watch Holland.
Big win, Holland.
Big win, Holland. They beat Poland with a late goal to win that 1-2-1. Holland was the dominant team. I don't know how we didn't score. How we didn't score more goals.
Well, you're one of them.
I am one of them. Ukraine, not so well. They played today.
Oh, did they play today?
They did play today. They got dominated by Romania, 3-0. But they're war torn. So
well, there's a little situation happening over there in their country.
Yeah, you bet. Like it kind of amazes me that they're able to field a team, and I mean that they got shit going on back at home.
There's a lot of shit going on in Ukraine.
They got a lot of shit going on. France won today. They like that batch. They got a tie. They beat Austria, and Slovakia beat Belgium. So, but Holland won. I'm sorry about the Ukraine. But the Euros is a great tournament to watch. I think it's almost as fun as the World Cup, and it's going on in Germany right now. So, if you got some time between Stanley Cup and NBA, you know what? As we speak right now, the NBA Finals might finally fucking be done.
I don't know who's playing.
Dallas has succumbed. The Boston Celtics are your champions.
Oh, there it is.
Hooray.
Yeah, way to go, Celtics.
Yeah, let the balloons fly, like the banners fly and whatever that thing. Like the bells ring and the banners fly.
Yeah.
The Boston Celtics.
Way to go, Celtics. Bunch of white people running around Boston burning shit down right now. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar podcast, 4 Beers Sports, talking a whole lot more. Take care of each other. More importantly, take care of yourselves and your around. Keep your stick in the ice, we're all safe.
And don't swing at high pitches, Jim. And if you're in Boston, hey, Ma's gonna need that couch tomorrow, so don't burn it.
Burning shit down in Boston.
Don't burn that couch, because Ma's gonna need it.
Go Oilers!
Get it back to the car park. Go Oilers! Suck shit.
Have a good night, folks. We'll talk to you on Thursday night.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday.